What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are back with another Hot Toys figure preview video. Today we are going to be previewing Iron Man Mark II, his 2.0 version. This figure was released by Hot Toys about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and today we are going to be reviewing this guy just to kind of see our initial thoughts about the figure, what to expect, how is he going to look like. Again, this is a prototype, so obviously it is not the final result. So we're going to go ahead and preview this guy. Before I do start the video, I want to apologize about the delay with this video. Again, this figure was released about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm barely doing the preview video, so my apologies about that. But for those of you guys who follow me, you guys have noticed that I've received a lot of figures over the last couple of weeks, so it's one of those things where the schedule has become a little bit hectic, so that's why I'm barely doing this video. So big apologies about that, but still, I'm here. I want to go ahead and do this guy. I want to go ahead and preview him and just gonna give my initial thoughts about him. Also, I want to try my best to do these videos a little bit shorter. I feel like the videos have been a little bit too long, the ones that I've been doing for other preview videos, so want to be as fast as I possibly can and not be too detailed about the figure. I feel like I'd rather save that whenever I actually get the figure as an unboxing. But today we're gonna go ahead and review another Iron Man. Again, another one. Yes sir, another one. This is, I think, the 4th time that I do a preview video for Iron Man. I have yet to still receive one with an actual Robert Downey Jr. face sculpt or an official Iron Man suit from the movies by Hot Toys. So very excited to go ahead and get all these Iron Mans eventually. I do want to go ahead and get a full collection of all the suits that have been released by the company. But again, today we're going to go ahead and do Mark II. This is obviously based on his appearance from the first Iron Man movie. This is obviously a silver colored suit, again the second suit that he makes, which I am a big fan of. And so far, just looking at the images that Hot Toys has released for this guy, he looks fantastic. I love the coloring. It looks really good, and it just like the way that the armor looks, it's fantastic. Just a couple of quick things to point out about the figure. So this is a die cast, so just want to go ahead and make sure that I inform you guys of that. I want to go ahead and take a look at some of the details here. So obviously they have announced that of course it is an authentic and detailed likeness of Iron Man Mark II based on his appearance. The Iron Man helmet does have LED light up function, which is white lights. Also a newly developed head sculpt for Robert Downey Jr. Yes, once again they have developed a new head sculpt for Tony Stark. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. As far as the height, pretty much the same as usual. A lot of points of articulation, which we would obviously review better once we actually get the figure. Again, as I mentioned before, die-cast material, special features that we can attract from the armor. So it's a combination of 100 silver chrome armor pieces, which we can see here. That's really exciting, honestly. I cannot wait to get all of these pieces onto the figure. Again, I still have no experience of building an Iron Man myself, so I'm still a rookie at this. So very excited to go ahead and get a figure that makes me work and that makes me have to put a lot of pieces into it. And obviously this figure will definitely do that. It also does come included with LED light design on his eyes, chest, arc reactor, and the palms, which is pretty normal. It does come with interchangeable shoulder missile launchers and 2 sets of interchangeable forearm armor as well. The attachable Iron Man Mark II open armor parts to simulate the suiting of process, including a set of chest armor and also a pair of thigh armor. It comes with 3 pair of interchangeable hands, including pair of fists, pair of hands, with articulated fingers and light up repulsors, and a pair of battle palms with light up repulsor as well. So those things I would say are pretty normal. Nothing too special about that. That's something that we should expect already. It is a fully developed air flaps at the back of the armor, fully developed air flaps on the back of the legs, and of course the head sculpt is especially hand painted, and we can definitely see by the actual helmet and the face sculpt they look very well done to start off. As far as accessories, it does also come with a figure stand painted in metallic silver, including also an LED light up function. So we'll definitely go ahead and take a look into that to see how it looks. So pretty much that would be the description that Hot Toys provides for the figure itself. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the images. So this first image would pretty much him with all of the armor pieces kind of split from him, along with that figure stand. The figure stand or the base looks really awesome. This looks fantastic. I love how it looks. The LED lights look really bright, and I love the coloring. It matches with the figure. Pretty much the way that the base looks here, even though we really can't see it because of this part right here, I would say it kind of reflects an arc reactor. So it looks really cool. Taking a look here at all of the details that it comes with, pretty much we can see the height of it, the face sculpt, which we will definitely take a look into a little bit later on in the video. Let me see everything else. Again, the Iron Man plate right here. Again, I love the fact that it's a silver color. Well, I guess we can go silver or chrome, whichever you guys want to go ahead and go with, but obviously the coloring is fantastic. It looks really bright, and the suit matches well with how it looks in the movie. Over here looking at this next image, so we see all these pieces of armor that it said that it comes with. To me, it is shocking that it says 100 pieces. It's unbelievable that it's gonna come with so many things. I feel like it's gonna take us hours to put this guy together, especially if the pieces come split from him. Now obviously if it comes together, we'll definitely find out where all those 100 pieces come from, but I would pretty much say that it makes sense because obviously this is just his second suit, so it's not very well put together. Obviously Tony is barely beginning to kind of design his suit, so I like the fact that Hot Toys goes out of its way to make sure that this guy is as good as it possibly can be. My only complaint with them is that they don't put that same effort with other figures. I feel like they put all of their efforts to make sure that Iron Man is as perfect of a figure as he can be, which to me, I have no issues with. This guy is one of the most popular characters in comic book history, along with Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and those guys. So I understand the efforts of them going, out of their way to make sure that this guy is as cool as it gets. And obviously with so many suits and so many, different figures that the character portrays, it makes sense, right, that they would put all of their effort onto him. But to me, my complaint is that they don't go out of their way with the other figures. There's other characters with it where they just don't put that same effort. There's other characters where they haven't been released, and I can think of dozens of characters or dozens of figures that they haven't released or have not released in a long time. So I just wish that Hot Toys would put that same effort onto other figures. But well, I don't want to kind of jump, kind of change topics too much. Let me continue with the figure. Next image. So we have the head sculpt. Let me go ahead and address the head sculpt. Obviously, as Hot Toys mentioned, it is a newly designed head sculpt for this guys. Once again, they're going out of their way to make sure that it is a new head sculpt. At this point, there's so many Tony Stark / Robert Downey Jr. face sculpts that at this point I can't even compare them anymore. It's like it's too many of them. So instead, I just rather say, I just rather kind of make a comparison to the actual movie scene when he has this suit. Is it the best head sculpt, that we could have gotten for this guy? To me, honestly, yes. This is as good of a head sculpt as they could have created for this specific figure. Again, if you guys want to make comparisons, like as far as which is the best Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. face sculpt you guys have ever seen, I would say go at it. But the fact that Robert has had so many different looks with this character, it's really hard to compare. But just based on this figure alone, to me, this is the best head sculpt that Hot Toys could have ever created. This is as amazing as it gets. The hair looks fantastic. It's funny that they still haven't created rooted hair for Iron Man. As detailed as they go for this guy, they still have yet to create rooted hair for him. But we have the normal hair piece, his mustache, his beard, his eyes, the skin texture, complexion, everything looks perfect on this guy. I really don't think that they could have gone any better. And the funny thing is that he has this kind of pale type of look. I'm not sure if it's me, guys, but he kind of looks kind of like whenever he loses his arc reactor, whenever he gets it taken away and he becomes pale, because obviously he has no life support, and he kind of has this same pale look. Now, I don't know if it's just me, right? But again, the skin complexion is fantastic on this guy, and he looks really, really good. As good of a face sculpt as they could have ever created. But taking a look more at some of other images, again, here he is with all of his armor pieces split from him. We can pretty much just kind of keep going, right? And pretty much just see him in different positions. As I mentioned before, he has alternate display open armor mode. So I would say what that means is that you can display him in different ways depending on how you want to have his armor separated from him. So either if you want to have the front side kind of split, or the back, or the sides, or the legs. I think it's going to be up to you guys to pretty much determine how you want to go ahead and display him. Pretty much the next image, as I mentioned before, so it's going to be interchangeable open armor parts, providing additional display options. So I am thinking that what Hot Toys means by this is that either you can display him with his parts kind of being split from him, or you can display him with the whole suit put together. I just hope that these pieces connect via magnet, because that way it would be such a stronger connection to the suit itself. If we do magnet, it would connect so much stronger. So that's my wish, unless Hot Toys can think of something better. But that's just my thinking as of now, that they do magnets so that way the figure connects even better. Next images, again, separate rolling eyeballs. That is not a surprise. That's something that's been occurring for all Hot Toys figures over the last couple of months. Obviously, the separate rolling eyeballs, and from what I've seen from other figures that I've been receiving lately, it definitely does add another element to the figure because it looks more natural whenever you pose them. So no issues there. Here he is again. So he looks with his suit pretty much split from him, but now he has the face sculpt, which I mentioned before is as good as it gets. We can pretty much just continue and look at more images. Here he is with his suit pretty much put together completely. As I mentioned before, it looks fantastic. The coloring looks really, really good. I would say it looks exactly as it is in the movie. Again, the silver chrome type of coloring looks great, but the suit doesn't look like very well put together, which lets you know that this is just Mark II, right? So it's not an alternate type of design for the suit. So everything looks really, really good. I am a huge fan, again, as I mentioned before, of the base. The coloring, the nameplate, the LED lights, everything looks fantastic about the base. But here's an issue that I have found, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to disagree with me, but this is just my thinking, and that's going to be the fact that it comes with a crotch grabber. Now, why? I don't get it. Again, I understand that with this suit, he's barely learning how to fly. But still, I mean, we want to post this guy flying. I mean, why would they do a crotch grabber unless they're going to do two, either the crotch grabber or the flying, post, or whatever you guys want to call it. But I just don't understand why a crotch grabber. I mean, this limits us a lot when it comes to posing this guy, because we can't pose him in any type of jumping or flying positions. Again, I understand he really didn't know how to fly at this point, but there is a point where he does fly with this suit. So it makes no sense whatsoever for them to do a crotch grabber. That is just my personal opinion. Hopefully they change that. Again, as I always mention, this is a prototype, not the actual result. So hopefully they change that eventually. Just taking a look more at the images here, we can get a closer look at the base or figure stand. It looks so awesome, and it does look like an arc reactor type of base for the figure, and it looks really, really good. I am a huge fan of this. Here he is again, and again, just really quick, going back to the base. So again, by him having a crotch grabber, I mean, where are we supposed to stand this guy? I mean, there is no space. So again, makes no sense for them to do a crotch grabber. Looking at the figure here, excuse me guys, looking at the figure here, as you guys can see the articulations, it seems that the guy does bend very well, so that's always a good thing. We would actually know once we get the figure, which should be in around a year or two. So just looking at more of his images, the suit looks fantastic. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I think it's as good as it gets. And obviously we're starting to get a trend here where Hot Toys is releasing second versions for each of his first 7 or 8 suits, and they're all die cast, so that's a good thing to know. And then obviously they made some comparisons right here. So obviously this is more of a shiny type of chrome coloring. This would be the first version, which obviously I don't have, so I do apologize about that. I really can't make proper comparisons, but we can go based on these images. Obviously he is taller on this image right here on the left, and obviously his coloring does match more what the suit is actually supposed to be. Everything looks better. He looks more well put together. So I'm glad that Hot Toys includes the images of the previous figures, so that way we are aware of what we used to have, or what some of you guys used to have, and what we're expecting to get. The next image is going to be all of the 100 silver chrome armor pieces. This is just insane, but so awesome at the same time. As you guys can see, so many pieces. It's like we can just build a new figure based on all of this, right? But again, I would assume that it's every single piece that you guys are able to attach or detach from the figure. Obviously, once I get this figure, we will definitely do an unboxing and go over all of these 100 pieces again. It's going to be a long time for us to do that, but still, eventually we will get to it. The LED light up figure stand with articulated accessories. So again, this looks really good. I assume that these parts right here are kind of rotatable or switchable, and there goes that crotch grabber again, which I just don't understand why they would go with that, but that's just my personal opinion. But pretty much that's all that I have for the figure. Again, I really didn't want to go too detailed onto this figure, although I think I did right, because we're almost at 20 minutes. But just kind of want to give my thoughts on this guy. As I mentioned before, this is just a prototype, so some things might change. The only thing that I can really ask them to change would be the crotch grabber. Hopefully they take that out and they put either both a crotch grabber and an actual fly-in post, so that way we have more ways of posing this guy, since he does actually fly. But other than that, I have no issues with him. The coloring, the shininess, the face sculpt, everything looks great. If you guys can come up with something that I might have missed, or that Hot Toys can do better with this figure specifically, feel free to leave a comment on the video, and I will gladly respond. As I always say, I like when all of us have opinions, and when we get to have conversations about these figures. I always like that. I think it's really cool. Also, last image before I end the video. So this right here, as you guys can see, so complete the diecast Iron Man Mark 1 to Mark, I think it's 7, I hope I'm correctly. So 1 2 3 4, I'm sorry, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so 7 figures. So I would assume that all 7 figures have a 2.0 version. Sorry about my lack of knowledge about that. Maybe they've all been released already and I'm just learning about this now. Eventually, once I get more knowledge about this, I will definitely collect all 7 figures. I will definitely love that, and I would assume that once they do that, they're gonna get to like the 2.0 version with older suits, with newer suits like Mark 50 and Mark, whichever you guys can think of. I would assume that Hot Toys eventually will get to that, so that we can complete the collection. But as you guys can see, all 7 figures look fantastic. So that would pretty much be it for my preview of this figure. Before I do end the video, as always guys, want to thank you for the continued support. You guys are so awesome. Over the last couple of days, weeks, you guys have been watching my videos constantly, liking them, subscribing to my channel. We are very close to 400 subscribers. It means the world to me, everything that you guys do. If I am not appreciative enough, I apologize. I'm trying to be, right? You guys are so awesome, and it really feels nice to receive all the support that I get on a daily basis. I do want to remind you guys, if it's not too much to ask, that I am on TikTok and Instagram. Feel free to add me on those websites. The links to that are on the description of the video. Also, if it's the first time that you are watching me, feel free to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell, so that way you stay updated every time I drop an unboxing or a preview video, right? But for now guys, this is going to be it for the Iron Man Mark II 2.0 preview video. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you next time.